So welcome back guys in another new video of Cisco ASA Firewall series, and continuously we are learning Cisco ASA Firewall from basis to advanced in our YouTube channel. Already I made 8 series on Cisco ASA Firewall. So if you are continuously learning from our series, then hit the like button for this video and subscribe our YouTube channel for next video notification. Do not forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, okay? It will help me, it will motivate me, so I always recommend that subscribe this channel to motivate and to support my work. Now we are going to discuss about dynamic routing on Cisco ASA Firewall, okay? So what is the process and how to configure dynamic routing RIP configuration? Already in the last session we did how to set up static routing, how to set up access list for inside network to outside network, okay? So already we did these all things, okay? One more thing, let me write here. For example, this is the inside of network. Already I told that there are the ASA firewall or any firewall configuration completely depends on interface based configuration, okay? So this is the inside interface for G0/0 or for router 1, and this is outside another. This is the loop, this is the demilitarized zone, which is DMZ, okay, or DMZ. So according to this lab we are going to configure the complete lab. Let me explain something instead of only the diagram. So you can see this is our ASA firewall, and this is G0/0. The IP address for this interface is 192.168.1.1, and this is our inside interface. Inside means inside users, okay? And this is R1, which is connected with G0/0, and the IP address for this FA0/0 interface is 192.168.1.2, and there is another address which is loopback address. You can apply this particular address for further interfaces, okay? If you are adding another switch and adding multiples of clients, so you can perform this particular activity for that particular process, okay? So this is loopback interface. Another thing, this is G0/0, which is outside interface, and this is FA0/0 for router 2 on 192.168.2.2 IP address, and the loopback address is 2.2.2.1, and this is G0/2, which is DMZ for network, okay? DMZ network, and the IP address for this network is 192.168.3.1, and this is a DMZ network. You can add like web server, okay? Because web server allow inside outside both traffic for conversation, because this is the central database. Maybe it may be database, it may be any website, it may be any other types of server or any mail server, whatever, as per need of configuration you can perform this particular things, okay? So this is the simple lab scenario, and already in the CCNA syllabus I taught everyone that what is dynamic routing information protocol, RIP. Already I explained, I made multiples of session for routing information protocol. So if you are new and if you are start directly learning for this particular ASA firewall series, and if you don't have idea about routing information protocol, so make sure आप हमारे चैनल पर like routing information protocols videos consider करें. Then further let's start how to configure this particular lab accordingly diagram, okay? So it is very easy to configure the dynamic routing instead of static routing, and a static routing configuration is little bit tough instead of dynamic routing. So it is very easy to configure the routing information protocol. So I'm going to start the configuration from the very basis. I'm starting the configuration from R1, and you can say this is R2 and this is R3. Another thing, this is ASA firewall, okay? Now So all devices are booting now. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3, and this is ASA. So I'm going to start the configuration from very scratch. Okay, this is R1, and according to diagram I'm going to configure, and for R1 I'm going to configure FA0/0 and loopback address, which is L0. Okay, so this is R1, and you can type no. Don't worry if you are totally new, if you are new for ASA firewall or for networking, then don't worry, you will learn everything, you will understand everything. Okay, so it is very easy. So I'm using the host name for this router is R1, and then you can type do right to save the configuration. Then interface FA0/0, and the IP address for FA0/0 is 192.168.1.2 with subnet mask and no shutdown. Okay, you can see this is 1.2 and loopback 1.1.1.1 with /24 network. Okay, then you can type exit interface space loopback 0, and IP address for this network is 1.1.1.1 with subnet mask and then no shutdown. That's all. You can type do right to save the all configuration on permanently storage memory. So first thing, router 1 configuration has done. Then go to router 2. FA0/0 IP address is 192.168.2.2. so this is R2. Type no to start the new configuration on R2, and yes, now I'm going to configure the host name for this router is R2, and to save the configuration you can write do right command, then interface space F0/0, interface space F0/0, and the IP address for this interface is 192.168.2.1. okay, 2.1, no 2.2. okay, so 2.2, so 192.168.2.2 with subnet mask, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. as per network ID you can type subnet mask, then do right to save the configuration. Another, you can type exit command and you can select interface loopback 0 again for router 2, and the IP address for loopback 0 is 2.2.2.1 with subnet mask, no shutdown. No need to type the no shutdown command for loopback 0 because it is already in up status. Okay, so you can type do right command to save the all configuration, then it's done for router 2. Then next thing, you can start configuration for R3, and you can see as per diagram the R3 is DMZ, our web server, and the FA0/0 IP address is 3.2 and loopback address is 3331. okay, so as per diagram you can configure. So for this router I'm going to configure the host name R3, host R3 in caps letter, then do right to save the configuration, then type interface FA0/0, and the IP address for this interface is 192.168.3.1, 3.2, and then 255. you can type 1, 2, whatever as per diagram. You can configure the port IPs. okay, then do right to save the configuration, again exit, then interface space loopback which is 0, and the IP address for this loopback is 3.3.3.1 with subnet mask. Done. okay, see, loopback 0 and the IP address is this 3331. Then all configuration has done for all routers R1, R2 and R3. You can type do right to save the all configuration. Then come to the ASA firewall and you can type enable, then hit enter without any password. It will ask password, but there is no need to type any password. It is there is no password, there is blank password. Okay, so you can type host name for this firewall. So host name is ASA, host name is ASA, and you can type only write command to save the configuration, then type interface space G0/0. Make sure it is very important to type the name if or define the interface name with inside, outside and DMZ with IP address. So G0/0 is inside address or inside interface, which is 192.168.1.1 IP address. Okay, so like name if, and this is for inside. The security level for inside is by default 100. You can type manually or leave it blank. It will already or it will work with 100 by default. Okay, security level. So already I explained the security level, what is the meaning and purpose of security level in ASA firewall or any other firewall in our starting video series. Okay, then next thing, you can type IP address for this network, which is 192.168.1.1 with subnet mask. Yeah, it's done. Now you can type no shutdown command to save the all configuration, write command to save the all configuration. I think G0/0 has done with IP address and name if inside. Okay, another thing, G0/0, the name if is outside interface and 2.1 IP address. So you can type interface space G0/1, G0/1, and then IP address for this interface is 192.168.2.1 with subnet mask, and this is the subnet mask. And name if, it is outside interface, so outside, and the security level for outside is by default 0. You can type manual security level if you want to change the security level for outside. Okay, but make sure हमेशा ये security level 0 ही रखिए. Then come to the next interface, which is next command, which is no shutdown. So I think interface G0/0, IP address, no shutdown, security level, all thing has done for this router. Okay, now type write command to save the all configuration, type exit. There is another interface which is G0/2 for DMZ network. Okay, with 3.1 IP address. So you can type interface space G0/3, and the IP address is 192.168.3.1 with subnet mask. And then name if, you can type any name. So I done with DMZ, and the security level for this zone is 50. Then no shutdown to turn on the port, then write command to save the all configuration. Okay, so if you want to check the configuration detail for all interfaces, so space IP interface brief, ये राउटर की कमांड होती है. सो स्पेस इंटरफेस स्पेस IP स्पेस ब्रीफ, सो स्पेस IP, what happened, so space interface space IP space brief, enter. Now you can see G0/0 IP address 1.1, 2.1, 3.1. okay, and all thing has done for ASA firewall. So let me save the configuration for ASA firewall. Now you can start the RIP configuration for R1, R2, R3 and as well as ASA firewall. Okay, so I'm going to start the RIP configuration for R1. So it is very easy to configure dynamic routing or RIP configuration for Cisco router or for firewall or for anywhere. Okay, it is very easy because no need to decide or no need to know the target or no need to know the neighbor network ID and all, right? You can just type your network address in dynamic routing table. Okay, so this is R1 and R1 IP, our network ID is 1.1.1.0, another is 1.0. okay, 192 in 192 range. So I'm going to configure RIP version 2, which is very powerful instead of RIP version 1. So you can type router space RIP and hit enter. You can type version 2 to run or to start configuration with RIP version 2. And the network address is 1.1.1.0. Another network address is 192.168.1.0. All configuration has done. Now you can type so space IP space root to check the routing configuration. I think there is no RIP label any table. Okay, so I think you can check again. So space IP space root. Yeah, it's done. So no need to worried about routing table. You can type configuration for ASA firewall to maintain the routing table for neighbor device also. Okay, so R1 configuration has done. You can see router RIP to apply the dynamic routing RIP, and version 2 network address is 1110, which is this loopback interface, and 192.168.1.0, which is for fast Ethernet. Okay, another thing, you can start configuration for R2, and the R2 detail is 192.168.2.0 and 222.0, right? So let me configure the RIP for router 2. So start configuration on configuration mode. So this is router RIP command and version 2, and then network is 192.168.2.0. another thing 192.168 and sorry 2.2.2.0. okay, but before doing the configuration, you can ping with each other. Like if you want to ping on R1, if you want to start the conversation with R1 to R2, you can try before configuration of dynamic routing on Cisco ASA firewall. So ping space 192.168.1.1. this is the interface detail for ASA firewall. Okay, 1.1. I'm pinging the details from R1 to this interface. Okay, reply will come. So you can see it will communicate with this particular interface. But if you want to communicate with R1 to R2 fast Ethernet 0/0 port, so you can see how to configure and how to check. If you want to ping the R2 192.168.2.2, so you can see, is there any communication? I think there is no communication. Without routing information or without routing protocol, it is not possible to ping with R2. But firewall ping with every host or every router. You can type ping space R1 address, which is 192.168.1.1, sorry 1.2. another router address, which is R2 2.2. reply will come. Another DMZ router, which is 3.2. What happened? Yeah, it is 3.2. so space IP space interface space brief for it is 3.2 and up. I think it will take time. 3.2. okay, I think we need to check the interface space G0/3 and no shutdown. G0/2 3.1. okay, and then you can ping 192.168.3.2. I think there is some mistake. because firewall can ping with every host. Okay, so let me check. So space interface IP brief, enter G0/2, G0/2, I think 0/3. Okay, this is the mistake, G0/0. I'm not going to cut this video or edit this video because this is little bit troubleshooting. Okay, you can just fix it, and you can connect this interface with G0/2, G0/3. But if you want to troubleshoot this interface, so you can select interface space G0/3 and no IP add. Okay, no IP add. Then again you can select G0/2 and then name if it is DMZ. Sorry, I think interface space G0/3 and no name if DMZ. Okay, it's done now. Now you can type interface G0/2. With troubleshooting you will learn lots. Okay, so no need to cut this video. I'm just uploading the video without any editing, right? So interface space G0/0 and the security label. So before configuration security label, you can type name if, which is DMZ, and the security label is 50, and then IP address is 192.168.2.3.1 with subnet mask. Yeah, it's done. Now you can save the all configuration. Now you can ping with DMZ router, which is 192.168.3.2. reply will come. Okay, so on all configuration and troubleshooting has done till now. Okay, so firewall can ping with every host, but can firewall ping with any loopback address? This is the main command. Okay, like 1.1.1.1, can we ping with this? There is no ping. Okay, there is no reply from 1.1.1. okay, because firewall have no idea about any network like 1.1.1. you can check, like you can check show root command. With the help of show root command, you can see firewall have idea. Firewall know the 192 address, 192.1, 192.2, 192.3, but firewall does not know about 1.1.1, 2.2.1, 2.3.3.3.1. okay, so how you can fix the things? Okay, so I think router 1, router 2, router 3 configuration has done, and you can see, so I did R1 routing table, which is this, R2 routing table with RIP, R2 routing. I think I did not configure a route for R2. Okay, no problem. So let me configure the routing protocol for R1, R2 and R3. Then I'm going to configure the RIP for ASA firewall. Okay, so router space RIP version 2, the network, so R2 network is 2.0 and 2220. okay, so 192.168.2.0 and another network is 2.2.2.0. then do right to save the all configuration. R3, the R3 addresses are 192.3.0 and 33.0, right, for DMZ. So conf t router 3, sorry, router RIP version 2 and network 192.168.3.0, another network is 3.3.3.0. do right to save the all configuration. Now you can check show space IP space root to check the routing table. okay, now you can configure a RIP for ASA firewall. So ASA firewall addresses are, our network addresses are 1.0, 2.0 and 3.0. okay, so let me configure router space rip and then version, okay, sorry, version 2, and you can type no auto summary, okay, no auto summary, okay, and then network address is 192.168.1.0, another network address is 192.168.2.0, another network address is 192.168.3.0. all configuration is done for ASA firewall. Now you can see the root for ASA firewall, so space root, okay. So this is the loopback interface for this is the loopback IP for DMZ, okay, DMZ and 192.168, everything has done, now you can apply the no auto summary for R1, like router space rip and then no auto summary, and do right to save the all configuration. Same thing you can perform in R2, like no auto summary and then do right to save the all configuration, and then conf t router space rip no auto summary, no auto summary, do right, okay, to save the all configuration. Now you can check show space IP space root on R3, show space IP space root. Now you can see routing information protocol configuration or RIP has done, and you can check again show space root. You can see now R1, sorry, ASA firewall have path of 1.1.1, another thing you can see, this is the IP tables for ASA firewall. So ASA firewall now know the path for 1.1.1, 2.2.2. Network and 3.3. network, okay, you can see 1.1, 2, 3, okay. Now you can ping with loopback address. Now I'm sure with 100% reply will come 1.1.1.1, you can see 100% reply, 2.2.2.1 reply will come, and then 3.3.3.1, yeah, it's done. Now this way you can configure like routing information protocol on ASA firewall. Now you can ping from inside network to outside network, reply will come, you can see 192.168.2.2. so you can wait for few minutes, okay, or for few seconds. Yes, I think there is no reply just because of one more command. It is important to configure to check the reply from the ASA firewall for inside network to outside network. Already I explained the things or this particular troubleshooting in our last session, like it is important to configure the fix-up protocol ICMP on ASA firewall to reply the ping message from R1 to R2 or from inside network to outside network. So it is very important. You can see without fix-up ICMP, you can see ping space 192.168.2.2. I'm checking reply from R1 to R2, which is 192.168.2.2, but there is no reply. What is the error? You can see there is no reply just because of one more command which is pending on ASA firewall, okay. Let me confirm the things. It is, there is no reply, but you can go on ASA firewall and you can configure one thing which is a fix-up protocol ICMP. Now do right to save the all configuration. Now you can check, yeah, it's working now. And also you can send the traffic from DMZ to, or from higher level traffic to lower level traffic. So R3 can also ping with R2. Let me check the reply from R3. You can see reply will come. So now this way you can configure. This is the complete configuration for routing information protocol or RIP, dynamic routing protocol on ASA firewall. Hope you understand the every step. If any problem, any query, put the query in comment section, and please do not forget to subscribe this channel. Subscribe, share, like, these things motivate me to make more videos on these types of configuration. Okay, so see you in the next session. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.